Mastering Multi-Cloud Kubernetes Management, a step-by-step guide for AWS, DigitalOcean, Azure, and GCP. This podcast is brought to you by Business Compass LLC. We are an Amazon Web Services advanced consulting partner. We build and migrate workloads to Amazon Cloud. Our website is businesscompassllc.com. Our phone number is 973-638-2228. Our email address is contact@businesscompassllc.us. Introduction. Navigating the challenges of multi-cloud Kubernetes management. In today's fast-paced cloud-driven world, managing Kubernetes clusters across multiple cloud providers has become a critical skill for enterprises aiming to leverage the best of each platform. Whether you avoid vendor lock-in, optimize cost, or ensure high availability, a multi-cloud Kubernetes strategy can offer significant advantages. However, with these benefits come unique challenges, particularly in managing cluster configurations and credentials across diverse environments. This podcast will walk you through managing Kubernetes clusters on AWS, DigitalOcean, Azure, and Google Cloud Platform, ensuring a streamlined and efficient multi-cloud Kubernetes operation. AWS, Amazon Web Services installing and configuring the AWS CLI. The first step in managing your Kubernetes clusters on AWS is to install and configure the AWS Command Line Interface (CLI) installation. For Mac OS and Linux, curl https://oskli.amazonoz.com/osklev2.pkg osklev2.pkg. Sudo installer pkg osklev2.pkg target. For Windows, download the installer from the AWS CLI official site, Configuration. Once installed, configure the CLI with your AWS credentials. AWS Configure. Enter your AWS Access Key ID, Secret Access Key, default region, and output format. Updating kubeconfig for Amazon EKS clusters. To interact with your Amazon EKS clusters, you'll need to update your kubeconfig file. Update kubeconfig. Use the following command to add your EKS cluster context to the kubeconfig file. AWS X region update kubeconfig name cluster_name. Verify the context. Confirm the context has been added by running kubectl config get context. DigitalOcean. Downloading kubeconfig from the control panel. DigitalOcean provides an easy way to download your kubeconfig file directly from the control panel. Access the control panel. Log into your DigitalOcean account and navigate to the Kubernetes section. Download kubeconfig. Select your cluster and click on the Download Config button. Save the file to your preferred location. Retrieving kubeconfig using the doctl CLI tool. Alternatively, you can use the doctl CLI tool to manage your kubeconfig. Install doctl. Follow the installation guide for your OS from the DigitalOcean documentation. Authenticate doctl. Authenticate doctl with your DigitalOcean account. Doctl auth init. Retrieve kubeconfig. Run the following command to add the kubeconfig to your configuration. Doctl Kubernetes cluster kubeconfig save cluster_name. Azure Kubernetes Service, AKS installing the Azure CLI managing AKS clusters, requires the Azure CLI installation. For Mac OS and Linux, curl sl https://aka.ms/install Azure Clidib, sudo bash. For Windows, download and install from the Azure CLI official page. Obtaining and setting kubeconfig credentials. Once the Azure CLI is installed, you can obtain and set your kubeconfig credentials for AKS. Log in to Azure. Oz login. Get credentials. Use the following command to get and set the kubeconfig for your AKS cluster. Oz ax get credentials resource group name cluster_name. Google Cloud Platform, GCP installing the Google Cloud SDK. GCP's Kubernetes Engine, GKE, management requires the Google Cloud SDK installation. Follow the instructions on the Google Cloud SDK download page. Initialize the SDK. After installation, initialize the SDK. gcloud init. Getting credentials for your GCP cluster. With the SDK installed, You can now fetch the credentials for your GKE cluster. Authenticate. gcloud auth login. Get credentials. Use the following command to add your GKE cluster to your kubeconfig. gcloud container clusters get credentials cluster_name zone project_id. Important considerations. Merging kubeconfig files and file locations. When managing multiple Kubernetes clusters across different cloud providers, it is crucial to ensure all kubeconfig files are correctly merged and stored. Merging kubeconfig files. You can merge kubeconfig files by manually appending the content of one file to another or using kubeconfig =cube/config:/config_x:/config_x kubectl config view flatten >cube/config. File locations. Ensure all kubeconfig files are stored securely and in a consistent directory for easy access and management. Conclusion. Empowering your multi-cloud Kubernetes journey. Managing Kubernetes clusters across multiple cloud providers can be complex, but it becomes manageable and advantageous with the right tools and knowledge. By mastering using CLIs and understanding how to handle kubeconfig files, you can effectively control your Kubernetes environments across AWS, DigitalOcean, Azure, and GCP, ensuring a robust and flexible multi-cloud strategy. Thank you for listening to our podcast. Please share this podcast, visit our website, and follow our social media links.